This right here is why I hate flying. It is 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're actually leaving for the airport in 30 to 45-ish minutes. I'm very excited. The flights are gonna be long though. We have like 3 layovers. Well, the TSA was nothing but difficult. We first my ID didn't work properly, I guess, so I had to go back to all in all, I had to go through TSA twice after getting everything checked, and then we ordered 2 coffees and they gave us 1. Our flight's about to board. I'll elaborate on what happened in a minute here, but I have to pack you down because we're about to get on the plane. We got to Denver, which is our first layover. We had food, as you could probably tell, over my shoulder right there, and the flight was okay. The flight was fine. But back to what happened before we even got on the flight. What that basically says is, it says that my ID or something along those lines needs to be verified, and I had to go. Basically, they told me once I got to the security line, they told me that I had to go back to where you check your bags and everything else, which we purposely don't do because there's always a line, and I had to go verify my identity and stuff, and I tried to explain to them that I had another means of ID because there's been something wrong with my ID for a while, and I had used it literally last week. TSA didn't really care. They just said that I had to go back there and go validate it. So I walked back to the Southwest counter, actually cutted a bunch of people. I didn't know I cut them until after the fact. I was just in freak out mode, and the lady at the TSA counter that was supposed to check said, "I don't know why, I'm not sure why they sent you over here, but you're totally fine." She printed my boarding pass just to prove it and sent me back over to TSA. I eventually got back to TSA, had to go through the line again, and I went to a different guy, and my ID went through the first time. So I didn't need to prove anything. I just got some random guy that just was, well, he probably wasn't having a good day. It's been an eventful morning. In other news, yesterday I actually got three packages from TikTok Shop that I have to do videos on. I didn't pay for any of them. TikTok sent them to me. Here's that unboxing. Little silver lining for a rough morning. We're also flying 10 hours today. It's currently 2:30 in the morning, and I'm wide awake. I've laid in bed for over an hour trying to just go back to sleep, and I just kind of gave up. This happened last time I went to Hawaii. I ended up going on a run at 4. I'm waiting to go run till later because I wanna catch the sunrise when I finish. We're just here for one night. We're leaving today to go to an Airbnb, but this is like a little fancy resort thing that Savannah found. We actually paid for it with Marriott points. We're not even paying for it. We're just using the existing points that Savannah had on an account. I use an app called AllTrails whenever I travel, and the big reason I do that is because it tells me like where like local trails are, and it has other trails besides like the ones that are like well known by like tourists. Like this one, for example. This one, not on any maps, not on any guides, and it was like literally a 6-minute walk from our hotel, and it's literally just this path in the middle of all this lava rock, and never would have known that it was here without that app. It's free also. Yeah, just like all trails in the App Store or wherever, and it's pretty cool. We like I said before, we only stayed here for one night, meaning that we have to pack up and take everything with us to go to our Airbnb. What I'm confused about is we were here for less than 24 hours and we somehow made someone set the fire alarm off. We're trying to check out. Little update. The fire alarm just stopped. So, all right. Honestly, Savannah and I debated on not even going outside because we're like close enough to the ground to, if we needed to, we could get out because we got places to go. I think when you're traveling or just anything in life, you start to develop systems and preferences whenever you're doing a specific activity, and I feel like this is amplified and increased when you get older. And I think your tolerance for trying new things, it becomes more difficult, or you have to try a little bit harder to want to try new things or go outside of your comfort zone when you get older. And I think traveling is a good example, or it really can amplify that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think, especially with travel, it can be kind of stressful. So if you can alleviate a lot of those stresses and you can have as easy of a time as you can, I think that just is a recipe for getting. You're going to be happier and you're going to be more likely to travel again because of that. And when things go wrong, especially things that are outside of your control, that aren't your fault at all, it makes you really, it's not a fun experience, especially with TSA. And that was, I started this video and I titled this video, why I don't like travel, or something like that. And that's the real reason. I do love traveling. It's just, I don't like being able to I don't like not having control over things that make no sense to me, and that was one of them that it makes no sense. Also, this is our new Airbnb. It's quaint. It's honestly, I think it's just in an apartment complex, and somebody is just using their yeah. It's nice. It does actually. It has AC kind of, but not really. Not what you would expect. It doesn't have any like central air or anything, but it does in fact have a air conditioning unit. Last night I slept, I think it was close to 11 hours. Towards the end of yesterday, have you ever been so tired that you're dizzy, you have a headache, and you don't really know? When we were sleeping in the hotel, it was kind of hot, and for Savannah and I can't really sleep when it's not freezing cold. And that little air conditioning unit, I was kind of skeptical, but it did its job very, very well. Anyway, yeah. We went to the beach. I actually didn't get any footage of that, but now we wanted acai bowls, and we went to one place, but they wanted $22 for a 24-ounce acai bowl. So we actually ended up going back to the first place that we went to yesterday. But the last time we were here, it took us 2 hours to get 2 coffees and 2 bowls. It didn't take that nearly that long this time, but it's pretty good. For this trip, we're actually staying at 3 different locations. The first location you've already seen, which was a hotel, and then the second location, which we're currently in, is actually an Airbnb, and then the third is actually going to be a timeshare that Savannah's aunt owns, and she couldn't come, so we ended up taking advantage of it. That's the main reason why. That's honestly the biggest reason why we're here, because it was a severely discounted trip to Hawaii. All that being said, today is our last day in this location. And with the Airbnb, we're going to the timeshare for the rest of the time here, which is, we have like four days before we leave. Yesterday on my run, we ran past this little downtown area, and then today I actually ran the opposite direction. We're leaving today. Well, not leaving, but you know what I mean. We found a roadside fruit stand that sells tacos, fruit, and sourdough. I actually ran past it yesterday and today, and we're trying it out. So we needed groceries, and we got enough food to last us for a couple of days for like $13. I passed this beach access point on my run this morning, and I didn't get a chance to actually check it out, so I'm doing that right now. Savannah's not thrilled. It doesn't look like a path to the beach, and I just saw somebody go down this way, so maybe.
We've been having a lot of locally grown coffee from here, and from everything that I've gathered, this is one of the plantations that does that. And they have free like tours every 30 minutes, and we that's what we're doing. Also, there's a shower in this public restroom.
a general rule, I try to not make a lot of promises on this channel or really announce what we're going to do or what the plans are for the day, just mostly because a lot of times when you're traveling, things can change, and well, it doesn't always work out that way, and I would hate to make promises that I won't be able to keep. But today, I can safely say that we're most likely, probably, going to see one of the volcanoes on the island. Did you see that sea turtle, by the way? Craters over there, right? The park that we're in, there's a couple of different volcanoes that we'll be able to see. I thought that there was just one. Savannah and I both did zero research going here. Sometimes we look things up and sometimes we don't. And today is one of those days where we didn't look anything up. It's really cool though. I'm pretty sure that's a crater. I just don't know what crater it is. It's one of two different volcanoes. It's incredible. Okay, so I looked up what the difference is between a crater and a volcano, and according to Google, a crater is the bowl-shaped depression at the top of a volcano, essentially the opening where the lava erupts, while a volcano is the entire mountain. So we're on, like, the volcano, we're driving on the volcano, and we just saw the crater. That makes more sense. If you already knew that, please do not tell me in the comments, because now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like, oh, well, no shit. That's the crater right there, and that's the trail. Again, didn't do any research prior to this, but it looks like I'm kind of going inside of a crater in a volcano. That's Savannah. 50-50 Savannah's doing. She's okay. A lot of times she just has to process, but right now she's not a big fan right now. We were up there, and now we're making our way down somewhere. We're not going down there, but we're going down that way, where those people are. That's the end of what we were doing. We were doing the Devastation Trail, which was like 1 mile one way, or an out and back, so it's one way. Savannah's not the biggest. She's not the biggest nature lover. So when she does trails, it takes her a little bit to get warmed up. And I'm always proud of her when she does it, especially when the trails are longer than a mile. Because for someone like me, I love doing this kind of stuff. But she has to warm up to the idea a little bit more. So it takes a little bit more. It's a little bit more work for her to find the enjoyment in it. Yeah. I think she's liking it though. Alright, we did a couple of trails. Savannah did mention a trail that is along the coastline. So we're trying to find that, but this obviously isn't what that is. But I think we're getting close, according to Savannah and the map that she has, that I have not looked at yet. One thing I do appreciate about doing these kind of things is they're pretty much. I love self-guided type of things, and that's exactly what this is. Also, it is so windy. I'm so glad I have this dead cat. Till coming on this trip, but apparently one of Savannah's things that she wants to do before she dies is go to a black sand beach. And for those of you that don't know, Hawaii is famous for those. So that's what we're doing. We found one that was kind of close to the volcano, and we're fulfilling that desire that she has. She's so excited. Well, how was it?
It's good.
I have a little bit of an embarrassing confession. The first day we went into the water, I got not terribly sunburnt, but I was pink. And I remember when I was in California, I never really had to deal with getting sunburnt at all. And since I moved out of California, that's been something that's consistently, I've just had to be more mindful of. I used to never put sunscreen on, and I still don't, and that's probably why I get sunburned. But maybe I did get sunburned, it didn't affect me as much. But all that being said, I got sunburned the first day we went to the water. Today we're at the beach again. The last 2 days the reason I say all that is the last 2 days we kind of avoided the beach and did the other touristy stuff so that we could let sunburns heal and everything else. And now today we're back at the beach, but I am being more careful. And I intentionally picked the spot that we're at so that we have shade because we don't have an umbrella, so that I don't get sunburned again. How long do you think it's going to take? We're staying at Hilton technically, and like I said before, it's a timeshare, and we didn't actually pay for it. But with that, look at this. Someone threw bread down there, right there. Anyway, this is the actual Hilton hotel, and we're exploring it today, and it's pretty nice. Typically, for me, traditionally, I don't really like the whole resort kind of thing. If I'm being completely honest, all-inclusives have never been something that I enjoy.
I'd rather have like an authentic experience to, one, see the culture, especially if I'm traveling outside of the United States. I want to me, like, I'm paying that money to experience a different culture and to hopefully get something out of it other than just a nice vacation. So for that, like, when we go to an all-inclusive in another country, to me it just seems like a waste. Like, if I wanted to do that, then I could just do that in like Florida or California or something else. So because of that, I've always kind of strayed away from all-inclusives. But honestly, this is like a resort-styled hotel, and it doesn't feel like it because of all the stuff that you can do. They have a monorail. On my run, I jokingly told Savannah that it's like Disneyland, but honestly, it is really like Disneyland. Also, when I got back from my run, I saw they have a map of this place, and Savannah had pulled it out and started looking at, which I thought it was kind of funny. I think Savannah likes this kind of stuff way more than I do. I mean, just look at her. Hello. If anybody needs a right croc, there you go, right there. There's another shoe wrapped around it.
Well, we're leaving today, and I think I'm just gonna call the video here, considering we're just flying back home. If you made it this far, thank you. Maybe consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to see anything specific, it could be like vloggy stuff or just the Pocket 3 or anything. Let me know in the comments.